So hello, welcome to the welcome here. Welcome to this video. Welcome to this video where I'm going to show all of these new options that Rescatux will have around UEFI. And just leave me 1 second that just forgive me 1 second that I check that everything is going okay. And yes, it seems it's okay. So what I'm going to do is to show you every option here. So the first option is the UEFI other option. So the idea is that let's see if we can manage to so the problem, okay, so let's so the problem, so the problem is Windows boots and Ubuntu does not boot. So Windows boots automatically. How to solve it? So using the option, and then after the fix, so Ubuntu boots instead of Windows. So this is what we are going to see. So the problem is that the Windows boots automatically. So let's see if I have set up this correctly. So now this is trying 1 second. This is booting the CD-ROM by default, so I'm going to remove it, and now it should be okay. So let me move this like this. So now, okay, yeah. So yeah. Let me focus this again. So first of all, make Windows boot by default, okay? Because this is VirtualBox. So first of all, we are going to make Windows boot by default, and then we will continue and see the rest of the options. So now it's booting Rescatux, okay? So this is not part of the tutorial or whatever you want to call it, but yeah. So now it's going to ask us about our language. And yeah, we're going to say that we want to work in Spanish, because why not? So first of all, this is something about VirtualBox that needs to have set up in advance. So if Rescatux wants to load, goes okay. So now I'm going to change the UEFI boot order. No, that's not what I want to do. So I want to create UEFI boot entry. Okay. So I'm going to create to Windows 1. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not. Okay. Let me. I think there's an option. So reinstall Microsoft Windows UEFI. This one should do the job. Okay. So now we are reinstalling the Microsoft UEFI files and create a new entry and so on. So this should be the one that boots the stuff. Then I'm going to install the Ubuntu one. Okay. So, and I think we will be ready. So Ubuntu 1 is restore Grub. This should fix the thing about Grub, but this will put Ubuntu first. But we want for this demo we want Windows first. Okay. So if this wants to work, so yeah, Ubuntu is in SDA 5, and I want to install it in SDA, and just do the stuff about Ubuntu, about UEFI. So if I'm not mistaken, so now I'm going to install once again the Microsoft Windows UEFI entries, and we should be good. So I will show you by the terminal how everything goes, because we cannot see the current order from Rescatux menus. Okay. So if we take a look at here, so we open this and we just do it like this. We will see the boot order that we have 5, which is Windows Boot Manager, and then we have the Ubuntu. Okay, and then these other Windows, and then this, and this. Okay, so the first one is the Windows, and then Ubuntu. Okay, and so first of all, make Windows so finished. Okay, so now I'm going to reboot, and we will come here that the problem is that Windows boots automatically and Ubuntu does not. Okay, so we just reboot because we have finished. So now you will see that Windows 10 is supposed to boot. Okay, so here we have this isometric window, isometric blue window. It's the Windows 1 logo, many people say, instead of the Windows 10 logo. So if Windows 10 wants to boot, we will reboot it, and we will press F12. So it's a reboot, and press, this is in VirtualBox, to go into Rescatux. Okay, so let's see if it finishes to load, and we can reboot this. It usually takes it doesn't take so long, but the fact that I am streaming and so on, so it's a bit more longer than usual. Okay. Spera means wait in Spanish. So we move the curtain and we reboot. Okay, so reboot. So now I'm going to press F12 as if my life was with it. Okay, can you please reboot? Okay, so now I'm pressing F12. Okay, so this is the UEFI thing from what's the name, from VirtualBox. So boot monitor, and I choose the EFI CD-ROM. Okay, so you see the order, and I choose the UEFI DVD. Okay, so I just enter into Rescatux. Okay, so now we are going to wait for Rescatux to boot. So now we're going to see how to solve it. So one way of solving it, because there are many ways, but one way is use the update UEFI other option. Okay, so yeah, so you are here. Okay, so we are here. Okay, wait a moment, you are here. Where's this? Not syncing. Wait a moment. Let's see, you make a demo and it has to fail. It did work. Why is this work is failing? I don't understand. So okay, let me wait a second. Wait a second. What's reboot? Hopefully it's not going to. Okay, so boot monitor, EFI CD-ROM, and this was working this afternoon. I do not understand why it doesn't work. Okay, so let's see if it does not fail to boot. It will be a shame, because I wanted to release this tonight. So now it works well. So question is, will we have lost the UEFI options or not? So Spanish login. Okay, I should have used this before, just in case. I'm not sure the reboot option is the right one in order not to. So let's see if this. Okay, so we have the correct. We have not lost information from UEFI. So so let's go back. So I guess that I should make another video, but I don't care. I don't want here to. So so how to solve the problem that Windows boot automatically and Ubuntu does not boot? So one way of doing it is to use the update UEFI order option. Okay, So after the fix, Ubuntu boots instead of Windows. So what you want to do is to click on change under boot, change UEFI boot order, run, and here you decide which is that Ubuntu is the first one to boot, and why not Windows is the second one to boot, and CD-ROM and so on are the next ones. Okay, so it works. So now we can reboot, and I'm not going to press F12, and you will see how, okay, you see how the group menu appears and we could boot into Ubuntu. Okay, so, but now I'm going to reboot, and I'm going to start, thanks to F12, I'm going to start the DVD again, and if it fails, well, there's something. If it fails, there's something wrong somewhere. Maybe in VirtualBox, or maybe in the UEFI implementation of VirtualBox, or maybe in Rescatux itself. So, as you can see, after the fix, Ubuntu boots instead of Windows. Okay. So, what happens? So create a new UEFI boot entry. Okay. So the problem. Okay, let's see. Problem. Custom EFI no longer boots. Custom UEFI no longer boots. Let's say so. Custom UEFI no longer appears on UEFI boot menu. Okay. So how to solve it? So this is the. So how to solve it? Use create a new UEFI boot entry. Okay, and after the fix, a new UEFI boot entry appears. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. So now you will have to imagine that there's an option which is going to be the groups one, the group X one option, which is the one that your custom EFI which no longer appears. So what you do is create a new UEFI entry. So it's create UEFI boot entry under boot, create UEFI boot entry, then you click on run. So this is going to scan all of your EFI entries, all of your EFI files inside your ESP, which is EFI system partition. Okay, so first of all you select the EFI partition, EFI system partition, and then okay, so I want, this is a good example. I want a mock manager, which I think it's an EFI in order to manage what's the name of keys. Okay, but I'm not sure, but I think that's the purpose of mock manager. So I want it to appear on the menu, on the UEFI boot menu. So if we take a look at the current UEFI boot menu, you will see that there are entries for DVD, hard drive, internal, Ubuntu, but there's no reference to Mock Manager. Maybe if you go into Ubuntu, there's an option in order to load Mock Manager. But let's suppose that we want to load Mock Manager. Oh. So we select it, and that's it. So what happens after running this option? So there's an additional entry which it's called Rescatux, and has a reference to EFI Ubuntu mockmanager.efi, and it's set as the first one. So it adds it and it sets it so that it's the first one to run. So now we are going to the problem is custom UEFI no longer appears, no longer starts as the first one on the UEFI boot menu. So if you want not to be the first one to boot, now you will just fix a Linux boot or the Windows boot, so that that's the first one, and the old entry, which is this one, the Mock Manager, will be saved. So now if we okay, so let's do it. So let's suppose we want this option to be there, but we want, nevertheless, we want Ubuntu to be the first one. So we can run the restore group one, okay, so that it fixes it for us. So Ubuntu is SDA 5 and SDA, and if there's UEFI, it's going to install. So let's see. Okay, so now if we run so what we wait a second. What the hell? Wait a second. There's something wrong here. Okay, so I guess it's time to switch and try to debug why this is wrong. So we had the 7th entry, which was the Mock Manager one with Rescatux, and this should have worked, but somehow when running the restore group, it has put this one in the first place, and the 7th one, it's been missing. So there's something wrong here. Okay. So I guess that this option, I guess that this is going to be a mess, because I need to reboot and so on. So let me so this is the restore group. So let me search bit. Okay, restore group, which is one of the first. Where is restore group? Group install. Okay, so let's see if we can manage to understand why this 7th option is being taken away by the restore group. So this is the restore group option, which is going to run the Arctux Grub install, and yeah, so the Arctux Grub install, it's in Rescatux lib file, and yeah, so Rescatux Grub install. So somewhere, oh, maybe it's a problem about Grub install. Yeah, it's a problem about Grub install. It's not. I don't think this is a problem from Rescatux actually. So let's do this manually, and we will check. We will do the Rescatux Grub thing manually, and we will check what the hell's happening here. So first of all, I'm going to create this UEFI entry again. Okay, so as you can see, there's no mock manager entry, so I'm going to create it again. So now it's going to scan all the files, all the EFI files in the so now I have the mock manager one. So these are backups from Rescatux, just in case. Okay, so new UEFI Boot entry was added. Okay, so now if I run it, I have it. Okay, so now I'm going to restore Grub manually from here, because I know how it's programmed. So let me. So the idea is the following one. So so this is going to be SDA5, which already exists. So SDA5, it's mounted into Rescatux SDA5. I mount bind stuff around here. One second. I'm not used to this syntax to do it manually. So I mount bind also proc. I mount bind also sys. I theory it's root around here. Wait, here, not there. Okay, so first of all, if I run inside the ch root, there's the option. Okay, and then I have to do mount -a, so that every thing here is what we want to put is this one. So we make sure it's mounted. So if we run this, the entry is still here, and then what I'm going to do is do grub install in SDA. Okay, so I have skipped the step about I have skipped the step about the device.map file. But now if I run, maybe we can run it outside or inside, there's no rescap added stuff. So there's something wrong on how yeah, there's something wrong on how it's managing. So let me do some tests. So I'm going to well, maybe I didn't want to do this. Okay. Okay. So mock manager. Yeah. Okay, so let's edit 1 second this file. So let's okay, so now this is erased. Okay, so now I'm going to edit this file. Usually I should remove this. I should unmount this. So now I'm going to take the Rescatux lib.sh and going to edit it. I'm going to, this has no colors. I'm going to be first. So what I want to search here is thing about adding a UEFI entry. So the name is Reinstall UEFI at something like that. So here I do whatever I want. So this is the label, okay, and this is where the hell is. So here I'm going to just write mock manager, okay. So I'm going to write this, and any option that they use, so it's going to be this option. So if I run this option, okay, so now I'm going to use the mock manager one. Okay, so now if I run this, okay, you can see this mock manager. Okay, so I'm going to grub install here, and now the first one is Ubuntu. So first of all it was boot mock manager, and then it was Ubuntu. So there's a book somewhere over the rainbow. So there's a book here. So this is the book. If the label, maybe if the label has this, doesn't work. Or maybe if the label has this, doesn't work. Okay. So there's a book somewhere over the rainbow. Okay. So we need to report this to the police, to the Grub police, to Andre and company. Okay, so is this, so the question is this an Ubuntu Pastabian? Okay. Free as a fox. Okay. So let's add some stuff around here, and I will so the idea is yeah, I'm going to copy all of this. Before grub install, so and this is after. Okay, so this is probably, this is a book about grub. So the question is if it's a book So the question is, okay, let me this wants to work. Having problems with the node thing. Doesn't want to open. Node open. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to create around here somewhere. I'm going to create a file about this book. So Grub install UEFI book txt, and I'm going to take the paste bin. You're not going to see it, but you're going to trust me. So yeah, wait a second. Paste is new. I want to say something more. So what I want to say is where's the hell? So here in lock, where the hell are you? Lock. There's the UEFI create lock, which has which has the exact sentence. Well, does not have, it had. Okay, one second. We're going to run this option again once I manage to fix or to use the label, the original label, which had this. So first of all, we are going to fix the label. So this was Rtux, something about adding an entry. 1 second. UEFI add, okay, and this mock manager was UEFI label, okay, which has the prefix and everything. Okay, so this is UEFI label. I'm pretty sure this was the original code. So now I'm going to run, let's hope, I'm going to run the create UEFI boot entry again. Now it should show whatever I use. So either I'm not using so mock manager. I'm not sure if I should do copies every time. So new boot entry. Okay. So now if we take a look here, we've got this one, okay? And now if we take a look at the log, we've got the exact command which is creating this. So the exact command is this one. So this one. Now I can go to here and I can just do something like this. So like this. So this is the command that I use. So I can do something like this so that it's easier, maybe easier to read. So they do that way they can know that somewhere in this label there's a problem that Grub cannot handle. So I'm not sure if this is Debian problem, because this is from, sorry, if it's Ubuntu problem because it comes from Ubuntu, if it's Debian because Okay, so I'm going to get this information so that I can send a book or something, or I'm not sure how, but I'm going to get this information in my computer. So where yeah, so now I have this information in my computer, and I will tell them that this is put in everything. This is a book. Okay, so yeah, so here I exit. So we have managed to learn that this is so SDF5. Wait a second, now there's too many things. So we are missing the Ubuntu, sorry, we're missing the amount of everything. Okay, so we are missing Boot EFI here, I think. And yeah, well, let's see if it works, because I'm not sure if it's going to work. Okay, so now Ubuntu partition is, but so finally what do we have? What do we have finally? So finally we have so yeah. So yeah, so so finally we have this mock manager, which should be the first one. So I'm going to reboot, and you will see how the mock manager, which I don't know what's I don't know. Okay, so yeah, so press any key to perform. Okay, so a role key, role hash, or continue to boot. Okay, so continue. Okay, oh yeah, so continue to boot, and we are going to boot manually into the, yeah, you see Rescap added and the EFI stuff, and there's the old mock manager, but that's I think you can boot maintenance, boot options, delete. Okay, yeah, so delete, we're going to delete here because I don't want to see so many options, but yeah, so commit changes and exit. So boot options, okay, let me reset system. So exit boot monitor. So now we have less options. So I'm going to boot into Rescatux. So let's go back to the script, if we can call it. So we had the problem about custom UEFI no longer status. So we have used create a new UEFI boot entry, and then a new UEFI boot entry appears, and it's the first one. Okay, but if you want to then restore the Grub one, it fails because either I'm doing something wrong or there's something wrong on Grub. So I will probably remove the slashes on the name or the parentheses on the name. So yeah, So let's see another option, which is UEFI Partition Status. So the problem moved from BIOS msdos partition to UEFI GPT, and I don't know if I did it right. Okay, how to solve it? Use partition status. So after the fix, you know what you are missing. Okay, so I'm not sure how are we going to do this option, but we will try. Okay, so 1 second. So let's continue. So move from both. I don't know if I did it right. So let's see where we are. So we are in Rescatux. Okay. So this option, which is the status one, does a lot of things. So if this detects it as an ESP partition, it checks the ESP flag partition, it checks the boot flag partition, it checks if there's a valid file system on the partition, it checks if it can be mounted, and it checks if the hard disk is either GPT or MS-DOS. Usually it's better to be GPT, but according to the standard, UEFI should support MS-DOS partition too. So yeah, if you don't have GPT, better you have it, because there are UEFI implementation which require GPT. So here we run the UEFI partition status. So I think this is going to show all the partitions, or maybe only the UEFI ones, I'm not sure, but it should show every one of them, I think, so that you select the one that which you think which is the UEFI system partition one, sorry, EFI system partition. So yeah, can we please have our partition? So that's the price for showing too many data to the final user. And yeah, there are many tools, algorithms that could be improved, but somehow all the partition tools happen to loop all the. So okay, so here we have the Ubuntu. We have many things, which is maybe this is Windows. Maybe there's a Windows here because NTFS. This is the EFI system, okay? But yeah, so it has been detected as EFI system. So we are going to test it. So you can see that the flags are here. So there's the boot flag and there's the ESP flag, okay? So you will see every one of the tests. You will be informed about them. So EFI partition has been detected. That's EFI partition thanks to fdisk. Okay. ESP flag, boot flag, it has a valid UEFI file system. Usually it's FAT32. And the partition can be mounted. Is the disk type of the partition lives inside the disk. The disk type is either GPT or MS-DOS, and so everything it's okay. So now we're going to mess bit so that you can see what happens when there's something wrong, because else this is too boring. So we're going to mess here. So okay, let's do this bigger. So we're going to set the second partition. So we're going to remove the boot. Okay, so now the boot label and the ESP. Okay, let me see. Okay, so if it's ESP boot, so okay, so let's remove the boot and the ESP one. It happens at the same time. And now I'm going to run this option again, and 15 minutes later, because this takes proper reading with proper writing. So okay, so here I'm going to choose the SDA2, which I think it's the one about I thought that it was the ESP one, and now so fdisk no longer detects it as an EFI partition. Okay, so there's something wrong. So does not have an ESP flag, so you have to fix this. You have to put an ESP flag. Okay, then more things. It does not have a boot flag. Oh, so I need to put a boot flag. And so it has a valid UEFI file system, so I have managed to do it right. It can be mounted. And finally it's either GPT or MS-DOS. Okay, so it shows that, so you can either fix it with Parted, or you can use gparted in order to do this. So Rescatux, okay, I'm trying to write also into the Grub IRC. So yeah, so here we have somewhere the gparted option, so that you can see that you can run gparted from here. So now I'm going to fix this ESP partition so that the what's the name of this? So that the UEFI can find its data correctly. So here What's the problem with you? I'm not sure. Device information, attempted to rescue. I'm not sure what this means. I guess that's somewhere. So here I manage flags, and I'm going to add the boot and the ESP, maybe. Okay. So boot and ESP. So it does it for me. Okay. Like the potted, clip potted. So now it's going to recheck, and now in flags, well, I mean flags, it's going to be updated with right, okay, flags. And now finally, I did not want to do this. So where is this? Okay, so finally here, where are you? Where are you? It's not that I don't find it. It's just that I don't remember what I was doing. So yeah, so this is check UEFI Partition Status. Okay, so check the UEFI Partition Status. So now it's going to check everything again, and it's going to be okay. So this is an option that helps you to debug, to find problems on why your ESP is not being recognized by your UEFI firmware. Okay. So you will see that every options is okay. So so here is the SDA5. No, so this one EFI system, and now it's going to everything. It's going to be okay. We are good. Okay. So okay. Here's another option: fake Microsoft Windows UEFI boot entry. Okay, so this is so the problem is let me think about the problem. No matter how many times I install Ubuntu or Debian or whatever distro name here, in UEFI mode it always boots what's the name, Windows, because it's somehow hardcoded. Okay, and this is yeah, and this is one system where that's not checked too much if it's the right UEFI or not. Okay, so I did not want to do this, so 1 second. So how to solve it? Use the fake Microsoft UEFI Boot entry option. Okay, after the fix, distro name here boots by default, so you will swap the Windows for the Linux one. Okay, let me check one thing. Okay, we are good. So yeah, so first, no matter, okay, I cannot simulate this, but let's suppose that's true, that Windows always boots. So we are going to use the fake Microsoft Windows UEFI boot entry, and you will see what happens. So if we run the options, we can see that the first one to run is the mock manager one, and yeah, so what we are going to do is to add a Windows boot manager entry, a fake one, which is going to be the first one to boot, and which is going to which is going to have the contents of the group one. So let's do it. So the option is fake Microsoft Windows UEFI. Okay, so we click here, we click on run. So this is we select the ESP partition where we want everything to happen, and let's suppose that I want to use this one, or maybe, yeah, let's suppose we want to use this one, which is usually used on secure boot from Ubuntu. So let's suppose we want to use the EFI Ubuntu shim in the place of this one. This is the one, the boot empty stuff. Okay, so maybe this is going to fail because we have too many entries. So faking UEFI Microsoft Windows boot entry was okay. Okay, so if we run this again, what we see, it is different. Instead of 8, it's booting 3. Okay, so 3 is Windows boot manager. Okay, and if you took a look at Windows boot manager, Windows boot manager is going to boot the EFI Microsoft boot stuff, but if you compared this file to the Ubuntu one, to the shim one, you will see that it's the same one. Let's do this 1 second. So this is SDA2. Okay, so this should be SDA2. Going to show you what I mean. So we can do like this. I'm not doing it right. Why is that? Like this? No. Okay, I don't need the path, I need the exec. So okay, as you can see here, shim, okay, shim is DED, and the one here, it's also DED, so it's the same file. So we have copied this file into this one. Okay, so this mixes the, and we make it the first one. So now I'm going to reboot, and Ubuntu Grub is going to boot. Okay, So yeah, so reboot, and now it should boot into Ubuntu. Wait a second. What's the problem here? Windows Boot Manager. Okay, so somehow this is not working. Maybe the Ubuntu. I wish I could see what's the problem, but maybe fail it. So this should have a log or something, because so fail it to open. But there are like 3 or 4. So I think the problem is about. I think the problem is about using the secure boot binary in a non-secure boot. But that's the thing that they do with Windows, and it works. So I'm not so sure why it does not work. We're going to try with the other one, with the Ubuntu one, and see what happens. But I don't know. Maybe it's something about VirtualBox, which does not handle well this kind of things. Yeah, maybe that's something that Secure Boot needs from Ubuntu's Secure Boot that Rescatux, that VirtualBox does not give. So this should maybe be tested in a KVM environment, and it should be okay. So yeah, so here we select Spanish, so it doesn't matter too much because the Rescatux UI is in English. So let's see what happens if we select the group one instead of the shim one. Okay, so fake Microsoft. Maybe the option is wrong. If it's wrong, we will fix it, because I don't want to have any problem with this. So I have already done many tests with this, but so usually I tested this one, which is the boot. This one, Grub. Okay, so we are going to test this one. This should work. Okay, so faking UEFI entry was okay. So now going to reboot. Now I think it should work. So this is working. Okay, so this is working. So maybe there's something about VirtualBox and Ubuntu Secure Boot or whatever. So this is working, but if you check the BIOS, the first entry is Windows Boot Manager. It points to Microsoft. Okay, let me show. Okay, doesn't matter. It points to UEFI Microsoft Boot Manager, FW, but actually it's the Ubuntu one. Okay, so this is working. So now we're going to boot into Rescatux, and we will see the next version, the next option. So yeah. So now we're going to see another option which might be useful. No matter, and it always overrides it. Hide Microsoft Boot entry. New option. Okay, so 1 second. I want to add around here the thing about I should have somewhere 1 second. So this happens in these two laptops. It seems to happen, this problem. So okay, so the problem is same thing as before, but a little bit different. So no matter how many times I install Ubuntu in UEFI mode, so it always boots Windows because it's hard-coded, and it always overwrites it. So this fix where I overwrite the Windows entry is not valid because it overwrites it with the Windows one. Okay, and this happens with EliteBook. Yeah, this happens here on these two laptops, and so we use this option, and after that it will boot Ubuntu by default. So the option is hide Microsoft Windows boot entry. So what it does, it copies on the boot X1, which is the default one. It also uses Windows Boot Manager as a label, and it makes it default. And yeah, so we are going just to use it. I don't think we don't need to make a demo. I'm going just to use it so that you can see how it feels, and I think that that will be valid as a demo. So here where is it? Hide. Okay, so I run this, and you will see that if you had Windows no longer boots because we remove it, and then so it's this EFI system, and now I select the group one, which is the one which I want to put here. Okay, so I hide it, and now if we take a look around here, so if we take a look around here, we see that the first one is 7, which is our Windows Boot Manager, and this one has the same contents as the file we have chosen. And let me show you the partition SDA2. Let me show you this partition, what's inside of it, and if we take a look at its files, you will see that in EFI, this is all the EFI contents. There's Ubuntu with their things, there's UEFI Boot, there's UEFI Boot x64, but there's no UEFI Microsoft. Okay, the UEFI Microsoft is saved here on all our copies which are around here. Okay, so we have removed Microsoft so that the firmware works okay with it. So you trust me, it works. Okay, so new option, reinstall Microsoft Windows EFI. So the problem, I've been messing with Grub and Windows no longer boots. BCD is still here in the right place. BCD is still here in the right place. Okay. I cannot longer boot into Windows, and I need it to play. So to solve it, reinstall Microsoft Windows EFI. Okay, so BCD, this option only if BCD was available. Windows should boot by default. So first of all, so let's do like this so that we focus on what we're doing. So the problem is that I can no longer boot into Windows, but that's what's happening here. There's been a while that we have not boot into Windows. So first of all, not related with the problem, let's recover our BCD. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm in the EFI. Okay, so I'm going to search for BCD. So there's a copy here. Okay, so I'm going to copy this into EFI. Let me see, into EFI Microsoft. Yeah, so into UEFI Microsoft Boot BCD. Okay, so this is not going to work, but we're going to, so I'm going to create, so usually you have this. So yeah, so let's recover our backup, because it's going to be faster than me moving one file. So let's suppose that we have our latest packet, which is this one. So I'm going to discard the current one, and I'm going to do like this. No, I'm not doing it right. So I do it like this. Okay, so now if I go into EFI, there's Microsoft and BCD and everything. So you knew that before. I'm going to remove all of these old backups, because I don't want them here. So this EFI discard also, it's okay. So now in EFI we have this BCD, so we have BCD, so this, but it boots into Ubuntu. Okay, trust me, it boots into Ubuntu. Maybe it does not, but I think or it boots into the book manager. Okay, so anyway, let's see here. So the first one is 7, which is the Windows boot manager. Probably it will boot into Windows. Okay, if we did not do anything, we will boot into Windows. But let's suppose that it boots into Grub. Okay, how do we fix it? So now, here I can no longer boot into Windows. So you have to have BCD available, and then reinstall Microsoft Windows EFI. So this is going to copy files from copy EFI files from Windows directory. Okay, So it's actually all of these files which are being copied. Okay, so copy EFI files from Windows directory, and it puts them in the right place. So okay, so how to fix this? So 1 second. Okay, let's mount this Rescatux SDA2. How to fix this? So I go into Reinstall Microsoft Windows UEFI, run, and it's going to ask me two things. First of all, which is the ESP where things needs to be set up properly, and the second thing, which is here, which is the UEFI. It's detected the SDA2. And the second thing is which is the Windows partition where the UEFI, the proper UEFI files need to be. So it's the SDA4. Okay. Okay. So reinstalled was okay. Okay. So now if we reboot, it should boot into Windows. So while it reboots into Windows, I think it will work. We will check. Okay, we have finished with the new options. So we are going to see more options. Run here. Okay, yeah, so yeah, you see it's fixed. It boots into Windows. Okay. Oh. Okay, so I do like this. Remove the curtain. And I reboot. And what I'm going to do is to put Ubuntu. I'm going to reinstall Ubuntu 1, which will remove the one about. So I need to be careful and press F12 so that I can boot into Rescatux. I will reinstall Ubuntu's Grub, and yeah, and it should boot by default into Ubuntu. That's the last thing that I'm going to do, but that's me. I want it. Or maybe we can use the boot order. No, I will use the one about reinstalling Ubuntu. So if this wants to boot to work, I'm not sure if it has rebooted properly. I'm not sure if I'm booting and I've missed the reboot, or if it's rebooting. Oh my god, did I miss the reboot? Yeah, I missed the reboot. Oh no, we have to reboot again. So hopefully I can do it and I do not miss the reboot again. Trying to read my notes at the same time, so this should do it. Okay, so now boot monitor. Well, actually maybe I can use the same. What's the name? I can maybe I can use put options. Yeah, so I can remove many options around here, and and then I can change the boot order, so everything. Wait a second. Ubuntu. There's something. Okay, it's plus and minus. Plus and minus is not working. Okay, it's not. Okay, yeah. So this is with the English. Okay. Well, it's rather. Sorry. So enter plus here, and then enter, and now I have to commit changes. Okay. So yeah, if many things can be done with the UEFI firmware, but if you don't know how to use it, you can use Rescatux. Okay. So now if I continue to boot, it's going to boot into Ubuntu. So I'm going to boot into Rescatux, and I'm going to show you many other of the improvements that has been done in this version, and we will see. We will end. So the first part is about the new options, the new UEFI options, and I'll show you what the improvements that there has been on the Rescatux Rescap side. Okay, so yeah. So now we select Spanish just because we want to. So the first thing that we want to see is the EFI system partition are shown properly. So first, the best thing to do will be the FSK. Where is it? File system. So we try to file system check. So this actually shows all the partition. So we will see that UEFI partitions are shown properly. So let's wait for this to finish. Okay. Then we will see that partition types are shown also, partition flags, partition OSProber, long name are shown, and there's this thing about the new Linux, and there's the so yeah, you know, OSProber long name. So there has been so many improvements on the UI that sometimes Rescap is slow to run, but I don't care because it's not a thing that you use every day. So so this is so first, UEFI system partition are shown properly. Okay, so UEFI system partitions. So here you can see that SDA2 has been detected as an EFI system. Okay, so you can see that it's your EFI system. So partition types. Okay, so partition type. Yeah. So this is partition type. So Windows or EFI, or I cannot mount, or this is Windows, or this is, yeah. So it has sort of an improvement. And here in file system, the same thing. Partition flags. Okay, so flags are here. So many of the things has not flags. So this happens when Parted thinks that this is a Microsoft partition. This is I think it's the Microsoft Rescue partition. These are the ESP, which is boot and ESP at the same time, and this is a hidden partition, and yeah, a hidden partition. And here there are no flags. Okay. And OSProber long names. So OSProber is a program that goes along with Grub 2. I'm not sure if it's from upstream Grub 2 or if it's from the different distros, but here it guesses with that this is Ubuntu 16.04, and yeah, and it guesses this is Windows Boot Manager, and it guesses many things. Okay, so yeah. So we have another column in order to know these partitions. So this unknown new Linux distro. So whenever the fs etc usu, which is used here, it's not found. Now it says unknown new Linux distro. This will about problems in the future. This happens with Fedora 25, which I cannot. Etc usu is they use strange etc usu. And then there's the thing, so let's suppose we want to FACK this partition, which is rather small. And there's the thing about the change UEFI boot order or whatever. Okay. So let's suppose I want Ubuntu to be the first one, which is right. So before this improvement, you did like this, and you have to manually click here to then again click here, and then you have to click here once again in other. So if you try the old Rescatux, you will see what I mean. And this is going to be the second one. So okay, and it's going. So this is another improvement, an usability improvement, so that people are not pissed off. Okay, so I think we have done everything for today. So thank you, and goodbye. So let's close. Let's see if I can manage to find. Okay, new UEFI options plain. I'm going to close the broadcast. We will see later.